We are very privileged to have the president of the American Society of Interventional Cardiology here in Rio de Janeiro, attending the SOLACI SBHCI meeting 2023, Professor George Dangas. Thank you so much, George, for joining us. You know, as SCI president, share with us a little bit on your educational programs and how we can collaborate between US and Brazil.
This is great, and always a pleasure to be discussing with you educational matters. I remember from the time you were president of SOLACI many years ago, and now we're very happy to be here as part of SOLACI and Society of Brazilian Society of Hemodynamics and Interventional Cardiology. SCI, first of all, what is SCI? SCI was founded by Dr. Judkins and Dr. Soames, the pioneers of cardiac angiography. One of them radiologist, one of them cardiologist. So it's a focused, based in the United States, but around the world, has many members, a global society, and focused in the excellence of practice of cardiac and vascular angiography and interventions. Started, of course, with cardiac angiography and then expanded. So from that point of view, we're very, very interested to have education as one of our premier goals. And of course, education goes together with international collaboration. Why is that? Because our field is very much about international collaboration. Not every device and every technique is simultaneously available and developed everywhere. If something is developed here, many of them are practiced early on in Brazil, for example, others somewhere else. Hemodynamic support perhaps more in the United States and Europe. East Asia have their own things, and we learn from each other, and we try to come together in these meetings with joint sessions and joint programs, such as the ones we had here in collaboration with SCI, and this way we promote. I know, for example, that Brazil is launching now the valve programs in all the public hospitals over the last few years. Well, this is something that was a painful procedure for a good reason that we had in the United States and in Europe maybe a few years ago. So we know a lot about that. And there are documents about that. There are procedures about that. There are hospital practices about that. Well, you know, through collaboration, those can be adapted and I would say in a much faster pace than try to create them from scratch in Brazil. Why do that? Through collaboration, we can have these joint programs, and that's an example of them.
And George, how do you see future collaboration in terms of writing committees for guidelines for novel devices? Do you think this is something that South America can contribute?
I think for sure. I think for sure. Traditionally, the guidelines have been produced by the broader societies, the American College of Cardiology, the American Heart Association, the European Society. But SCI has starting in some other flavor of guidelines, for example, such as the PFO guidelines, the patent foramen valve closure related guidelines, which is a subject that no other guideline addresses as much. And there's so many things to address about imaging, about planning, about indication, about complication avoidance, and so forth. And that's an example. And we can definitely work together in many of those as they arise. And they could arise more and more in the field of interventional therapies, because we have many more therapies now than we had before. So it's not like we do something new, we're just evolving the way the field evolves. In the beginning, there were acute MI, hypertension, and these are the kind of standard, usual things.
So many new devices now.
Well, so many new things. So we have to naturally do more things and you know, better things and more detailed things, I would say.
Thank you so much, George. This is really an honor to have the SCI president among us here in South America, in Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, discussing novel topics and future trends. Thank you so much.